Have you ever found yourself thinking, life feels a little more expensive these days? Maybe you've noticed that the costs of things you used to take for granted, like your health, your home, or even your hobbies, are creeping up in ways you didn't expect. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Aging is a beautiful journey filled with wisdom and experience, but it also comes with some hidden costs that no one really talks about. The good news? You can plan ahead and make sure you're ready for them. That's what we're going to dive into today. In this video, we'll uncover 6 hidden costs of aging that often catch people by surprise. More importantly, I'll share practical tips on how to prepare for them so you can enjoy this chapter of your life without unnecessary stress. Whether you're just starting to think about retirement or you're already deep into your golden years, these insights will help you stay one step ahead. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's get started. The first hidden cost might seem small at first glance, but over time, it can add up significantly. It's something we all need but rarely budget for: healthcare expenses beyond insurance. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I have Medicare. And yes, Medicare is a lifesaver for many people. But here's the thing, it doesn't cover everything. There are copays, prescription drugs, dental work, vision care, hearing aids, all those little extras that aren't fully covered. For example, my neighbor Ruth recently had to get a new pair of hearing aids, and she was shocked when she found out they weren't included under her plan. She ended up spending several $1,000s out of pocket. So how do you plan for these kinds of expenses? Start by understanding what your insurance does and doesn't cover. Sit down with your policy documents or call your provider if you're unsure. Next, consider setting aside a dedicated fund for healthcare costs. Even putting away a small amount each month can give you peace of mind later on. Some folks also open a health savings account, HSA. If they qualify, it's tax-advantaged and can be a great way to save specifically for medical expenses. And don't forget to explore discounts. Many pharmacies offer senior pricing, and there are programs like Medicaid or local nonprofits that can help offset costs if you qualify. Now, let's talk about another hidden cost that tends to sneak up on people: home maintenance. When you're younger, fixing a leaky faucet or replacing an old appliance might feel like just another chore. But as we age, these tasks can become bigger challenges, not only physically, but financially too. A lot of seniors want to stay in their homes as long as possible, which is wonderful, but keeping a house in good shape requires ongoing investment. Roofs need replacing, plumbing systems wear out, and energy-efficient upgrades may be necessary to keep utility bills manageable. I remember chatting with a friend who stayed in her family home after her kids moved out. She loved the memories tied to that house, but she hadn't anticipated how much it would cost to keep it livable. One winter, her furnace broke down, and the repair bill was astronomical. That's why it's so important to factor home maintenance into your long-term plans. If you own a home, set aside a percentage of its value each year for repairs and updates. For instance, experts often recommend saving 1% to 3% of your home's value annually. Another option is to look into services like reverse mortgages or home equity lines of credit, which can provide financial flexibility if unexpected repairs arise. And if staying in your current home becomes too burdensome, downsizing to a smaller space could be a smart move both financially and logistically. These first 2 hidden costs, healthcare gaps and home maintenance, are just the tip of the iceberg. They remind us that planning for the future isn't just about big-picture goals like retirement savings. It's also about preparing for the everyday realities that come with aging. Now that we've covered these points, let's move on to another area where costs can pile up unexpectedly: transportation. Staying mobile is crucial for maintaining independence, but cars, public transit, and even rideshare services can get pricey. Let's break it down together. Transportation is one of those things we often take for granted when we're younger. You hop in your car, drive where you need to go, and it's no big deal, until suddenly, it becomes a bigger deal than you expected. Maybe your trusty old car starts needing more frequent repairs, or perhaps driving itself feels less comfortable as the years go by. For some seniors, giving up driving altogether can feel like losing a piece of independence, but relying on alternatives like taxis, rideshare apps, or public transportation isn't always cheap either. Take Margaret, for example. She was a close friend of mine who decided to stop driving after her vision began to decline. At first, she thought using rideshare services would be convenient and affordable. But over time, those small fares added up, especially since she needed rides to doctor's appointments, grocery stores, and social events. It wasn't long before she realized she needed a better plan. One solution she found was joining a local senior transportation program. Many communities offer discounted or even free shuttle services specifically for older adults. These programs aren't always well publicized, so it's worth doing a little research to see what's available in your area. Another option is carpooling with friends or neighbors who are still comfortable behind the wheel. It's not only cost-effective, but also a great way to stay connected. If you do decide to keep driving, there are ways to manage costs without breaking the bank. Regular maintenance, like oil changes and tire rotations, can prevent expensive repairs down the road. And if you're in the market for a new vehicle, consider opting for something reliable and fuel-efficient. Some manufacturers even offer special discounts for seniors. On the flip side, if you think selling your car might make sense someday, don't wait until it's an emergency. Selling while the car still has value can give you extra cushion for other expenses. Now, let's shift gears slightly and talk about another hidden cost that tends to catch people off guard: food and nutrition. Eating well is essential at every stage of life, but as we age, our nutritional needs change, and unfortunately, healthy eating can sometimes come with a higher price tag. Fresh produce, lean proteins, and specialty items like gluten-free or low-sodium products can add up quickly, especially if you're shopping without a plan. Plus, preparing meals may become more challenging if mobility issues or fatigue set in. I'll never forget my Aunt Helen, who prided herself on cooking elaborate meals for her family throughout her life. As she got older, though, standing in the kitchen for hours became too taxing. She started relying more on processed foods and frozen dinners because they were easier and faster. The problem? They weren't nearly as nutritious, and over time, she noticed her energy levels dropping. That's why planning ahead is key here. Meal prepping can be a game changer. Even simple steps like chopping vegetables in advance or freezing portions of homemade soups can save time and effort during busy weeks. If cooking feels overwhelming, look into meal delivery services designed for seniors. Many of them focus on balanced, heart-healthy meals that cater to specific dietary needs. Another smart strategy is to shop smartly. Use coupons, buy in bulk when it makes sense, and take advantage of senior discount days at your local grocery store. Farmers markets can also be a great resource. Not only are the prices often reasonable, but the fresh produce is usually packed with nutrients. And if you live near others in similar situations, consider starting a meal swap group. Everyone prepares a large batch of something healthy, then shares it with the group. It's a fun way to try new recipes while lightening the load. These hidden costs, transportation and nutrition, are reminders that staying active and nourished requires thoughtful planning. They're not insurmountable challenges, but they do demand attention and creativity. Now that we've explored these areas, let's turn our focus to yet another aspect of aging that can impact your finances: leisure and social activities. Staying engaged with hobbies, friends, and community events is vital for emotional well-being, but it can also come with unexpected expenses. Let's unpack how to enjoy life to the fullest without overspending. Leisure and social activities are the threads that weave joy and connection into our lives, especially as we age. But here's the thing: while these moments are priceless, they aren't always free. Whether it's joining a golf club, attending theater performances, or even just meeting friends for coffee, these activities can quietly chip away at your budget if you're not careful. And let's be honest, who wants to skip out on the things that bring happiness because of cost? The good news is, there are plenty of ways to stay engaged without breaking the bank. Take my friend Joe, for instance. He loved playing tennis, but found that membership fees for his local club were becoming harder to justify. Instead of giving up the sport entirely, he started looking for community courts where he could play for free. Many parks and recreation departments offer low-cost or no-cost access to facilities, and some even host senior leagues that are both fun and affordable. Joe also discovered volunteer opportunities at the same tennis center. He helped with youth lessons in exchange for court time. It was a win-win. He stayed active, saved money, and gave back to his community all at once. If you enjoy cultural outings like museums, concerts, or plays, don't assume they're out of reach. Many venues offer discounted tickets for seniors, and some even have pay-what-you-can days. Libraries are another fantastic resource. They often provide free passes to local attractions or host events like book clubs. art workshops, and lectures. For those who prefer quieter hobbies, consider swapping books or craft supplies with friends instead of buying new ones. There's something deeply satisfying about sharing resources while building connections with others. Now, let's talk about one final hidden cost that ties everything together: technology. In today's world, staying connected means having access to devices like smartphones, tablets, and computers, not to mention internet service. While these tools can enhance our lives by helping us video chat with grandchildren, stream educational content, or manage finances online, they come with recurring costs that can add up over time. Monthly bills for high-speed internet, data plans, and software subscriptions might seem minor individually, but together, they create a steady drain on your budget. Here's how to approach this wisely. Start by evaluating what you actually use. Do you really need the fastest internet plan available, or would a basic package suffice? Are there apps or services you're paying for monthly that you rarely touch? Cutting unnecessary expenses can free up funds for the tech tools that truly matter. If you're unsure about navigating gadgets or troubleshooting issues, look for free or low-cost classes aimed at seniors. Many libraries and community centers offer them. And remember, refurbished electronics can be just as reliable as brand new ones, but come at a fraction auctions. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Aging brings challenges, yes, but it also brings opportunities to simplify, prioritize, and focus on what truly matters. By planning ahead for these hidden costs, healthcare gaps, home maintenance, transportation, nutrition, leisure activities, and technology, you're not just protecting your wallet, you're safeguarding your peace of mind. Small changes, like setting aside a little each month or exploring creative solutions, can make a big difference in how smoothly this chapter unfolds. I'd love to hear from you. What unexpected costs have you encountered as you've aged, and how have you tackled them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. It's always inspiring to learn from each other's experiences. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips tailored to living your best life at any age. Here's to embracing every moment with wisdom, grace, and a little financial savvy. Thank you for spending this time with me. And remember, the best years are still ahead.